Dirtle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Dirtle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and dirtle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Dirtle Magic. Today we're playing some more Svella, Ice Shaper. Looking at our opening hand, it contains no lands, so that's definitely a mulligan. New hand, no lands again. That's odd. Unfortunate for us. Do see some new additions to the deck. We'll go over those, of course, at the end of the video and in the deck tech. You know, assuming they make it all the way to the end. New hand. Okay, we do get a couple of lands, a way to draw a few extra cards, a mana rock. Yeah, I think we can keep this. We are going down to 6 though, so let's get rid of the Conduit of Ruin for now. Our commander is 1 red-green for a legendary 2/4 Troll Warrior. 3 tap and create a colorless snow artifact token named Icy Manolith with tap, add 1 mana of any color. 6 red and green, tap. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Our commander will be focusing a bit on those artifacts. Field of the Dead into play for our first opponent, who happens to be Xantcha, Sleeper Agent. 1 black-red for a legendary 5/5 minion. Then it enters the battlefield. It goes under the control of an opponent of their choice. When it attacks, it attacks these combat if able and can't attack its owner or planeswalkers its owner's controls. And 3, Xantcha's controller loses 2 life, and you draw a card. Any player may activate this ability. Our turn, we are second. It gives us Ready. Let's play a command tower, tap it down, and pass. Our next opponent with a Sajiri Refuge into play is Ranar the Ever Watchful. Okay, so is this deck available yet? I kind of want to play this just kind of out of the box and see. In either case, 2 white-blue for a legendary 2/3 Spirit Warrior. Flying and Vigilance, the first card you foretell each turn costs 0 to foretell. Whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your hand and or permanents from the battlefield, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. This could be an excellent blink commander that does not have the baggage of Brago. Our last opponent with a Swamp and Tenacious Dead into play is Yawgmoth, Thrawn Physician. 2 black-black for legendary 2/4 Human Cleric, protection from humans. Pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature, and draw a card. Black-black, discard a card, you can proliferate. Okay, don't like seeing Yawgmoth. Xantcha's turn, command tower into play. They tap it down, looks like they're just passing it off. Comes our turn, we get Acidic Slime. That is not the land we need, so let's go ahead and do a Thrill of Possibility. Let's discard the Replicating Ring. Might regret that later. Okay, we do have a land this time, so that's very nice. Let's go ahead and pass it off to our opponent. Over to Ranar. The story was up for them while I did not have internet, so that was kind of a pain. I do love the stories. I'm very much a Vorthos that way. Go ahead and read that. If you want a link to it, it's on the mothership, or you can hit me up on Twitter or Facebook and just click the link there. I like to post links to the stories. Over to Yawgmoth, Swamp into play. The Ranar player had a Sky Diamond come into play, by the way. So I did add some mana rocks to our deck, even though we play green. Usually, if we're playing green, I don't add mana rocks. But because we care about artifacts and maybe switching them up, I thought just the extra density would be good. Tenacious Dead is on the attack, off into us. Okay, we'll take the 1. 1 damage is good. We are down to 39. Tenacious indeed. 2 Xantcha's turn. Snow-covered Swamp into play. Xantcha, where is it going to go? It's going over to us. That's unfortunate. Comes our turn. We get a Darksteel Colossus. That will be great with the Goblin Welder. We just discard it with Cathartic Union, activate the Welder. That could be really good. Let's go ahead and play this, the Crown Pathway, straight up. Yeah, I think we could risk the Welder and just attack, maybe? Let's just do that. We do have to attack every turn with Xantcha, if able. Let's go ahead and attack the Ranar player. Damage is good. They're down to 36, up to 5 commander. Let's go ahead and pass it off. Ranar's turn. We have an island into play, followed by Replicating Ring. Hey, we know what that is. So for this one in particular, 8 counters is an awful lot. Definitely need to proliferate with that. Wall of Omens coming down for Ranar. That'll be good. Extra card draw for him. Over to Yawgmoth. Swamp into play, followed by Blood Artist. It's the full sleeve secret lair kind. Attacks out Yawgmoth this time. That's too bad. Do need to get a little bit of revenge against the Xantcha player. Xantcha, if they get a lot of mana, or if anyone does, could spell our doom, not to mention fuel our opponents. It's not the best. Tainted Peak into play for Xantcha's turn, by the way. Followed by a sad robot, they'll get another land. It's a basic mountain. Mountain into play for Xantcha. Gonna roll over to our turn. Time to cast our commander. Hopefully get another land too. Alright, Harmonize isn't terrible. Do still need another land. But at this rate, we can still cast our commander. Get down not only a blocker, but a generator of mana itself. And let's go ahead and attack the Yawgmoth player. We have a block with the Tenacious Dead. Tenacious Dead will trigger. Blood Artist will trigger. Let's see where the Blood Artist trigger is going. It's going over to the Xantcha player. I can live with that. Alright, let's roll it on over. No damage gets through. We have Geist Ard Monk into play. It'll create 2 white spirit tokens with flying, both 1/1. Its power and toughness is equal to the number of creatures they control. Azorius Chancery also coming into play. They'll have to bounce a land. Over to Yawgmoth's turn. We have another Swamp into play, followed by Necropotence. They activated Necropotence 5 times. They'll essentially be drawing 5 cards at the end of the turn. Oh, sorry, a 6th time. My bad. At the end of the turn, they'll essentially draw 6 cards. Over to Xantcha's turn. Rogue's Passage into play. Alright, I just want to double check. It says target creature. Yeah, so they can use that ability on any creature, even the Xantcha that we have. We have Wound Reflection. Oh, that's not good. Also, I feel like that's playing a little bit into Yawgmoth, but Xantcha is still ahead of it as far as effects go, so it is better for them currently. At least that's my feeling on it. Wound Reflection will trigger for the first time, so it essentially doubles the life loss to an opponent, and damage does cause life loss, so this will be pretty bad. Comes our turn, we get a Forest. Let's go ahead and play it. And we also want to create a Manalith, and then possibly do something else, but let's go ahead and go to attacks. I want to see if Ranar will block and kill Xantcha. Let's go ahead and attack. Because of the Wound Reflection, it doesn't double the commander damage. It's not Rage Reflection, but what it does do is if they get hit with it, it'll lose 5 additional life to their regular life total, but not to their commander life total. It won't go up by 10, only by 5. They blocked with a Spirit. Spirit dies, Blood Artist will trigger. Okay, I think here we just pass it off. Hold up mana, create a Manalith at the end of a turn, and then use our next turn, Cathartic Reunion, get maybe Scrap Trawler and Darksteel Colossus into the yard, and then recur it with the Goblin Welder. And that should be pretty good for us. Ranar, the Ever Watchful, coming down for that player. Interested into seeing what it does, however, I have a feeling I already know. I do like the card, but maybe not against me. Oh, Soul Herder. Yep, that's going to be classic in there. Oh, they're both spirits too, in case that matters. Alright, Ranar to the attack. Geist Ard Monk and a Spirit. Let's see where they're going to go off to. Oh, nope, they pull back the Spirit. They reassign the Spirit to us. Geist Ard Monk off into the Yawgmoth player. Okay. We cannot block, we'll be taking 1. Blood Artist is assigned to block the Geist. Blood Artist down, they get to bleed another player for 1 life. We do take the 1, we are down to 38. They target Ranar for this bleed. Soul Herder at the end turn will blink a creature they control. We're going to be losing an extra life due to Wound Reflection. That's unfortunate, we're down to 37. They are blinking the Wall of Omens to draw another card. Let me move the stack out of the way so we can see that proper. We have a number of triggers as Wall of Omen enters the battlefield. We have a card getting drawn. Soul Herder itself will get a 1/1 counter, and Ranar will trigger, so they get to make yet another Spirit. So it could be Spirit Tribal Light. Could be interesting. Specifically, this could also be really good in like a card deck, where you make spirits anyway, sack the spirits for mana, and potentially make it a Jeskai Blink deck. Over to Yawgmoth. Let's see what they do at the turn. Swamp into play. They did have 7 cards in hand after the draw, but they did draw 6 at the end of their turn, technically with the Necropotence, so that wasn't really unknown. But what is unknown is what they might do now. I assume maybe and potentially a board wipe. No, it's just Bastion of Remembrance. Okay, another aristocrat effect, but this one's harder to deal with since it's an enchantment. It comes into play, they'll make a human creature token. It's a 1/1, it's a white, it's a soldier. We have Feed the Swarm. It's going to kill off the wound reflection. Okay, I can live with that. I did a video a long time ago now on Feed the Swarm. I plan to revisit those videos once I can get settled up with some other stuff I'm doing. It just takes a lot of time to get these videos done, you know? Over to Xantcha. You know, let me know in the comments if you want to have content that, you know, where we discuss some of the new cards out of the set. Specifically, Tybalt's Trickery has kind of been done to death, but I do want to cover some other cards that I think are pretty good, especially the Plow. Not that it's good per se, but what it could mean for white in the future, which I think is very good. We do have a Field of the Dead trigger, by the way. Xantcha with a 7th different named land into play. They make a zombie. We have a Treasure Nabber. Alright, we won't have to worry about that too terribly much, since we're just going to sacrifice our Manolith, but it is a problem if we want to actually start ramping into anything. At the end of Xantcha's turn, let's go ahead and create a monolith. Oh, we have a response out of Xantcha. Probably gonna draw a card? Yep. We'll end up losing 2 life and they get to draw. We get an Icy Manolith. I do wish Xantcha hadn't gone to us, but it has been somewhat useful. Comes our turn, we get Aligned Hedron Network, a new addition to the deck. It is pretty good removal, although not at the moment. But even then, we can just sacrifice it to get some artifacts back if we want. Okay, so at this point, I think discard Darksteel Colossus and Aligned Hedron Network to a Catharic Reunion. That seems like a plan. Yeah, Darksteel Colossus just comes back. I forgot about that clause. Well, you learn something every day. Interesting, though, that you can do that, and Catharic Reunion will just still resolve anyway. So that's nice. Let's play a Spire Garden. So unfortunately, that also means we can't get it back. So definitely have to replace Darksteel Colossus with something else. Alright, let's go to combat. And I guess we'll swing Xantcha off into the Ranar player, just to see if they block with anything. I imagine it'll just be another Spirit. Attack into the Spirited one. A Spirit on the Intercept. Kinda knew that was happening. Spirit down. No combat damage gets through to Ranar. Let's just pass off the turn. I don't think there's any real reason to play Scrop Trial just yet, and let's leave up mana to create another Icy Monolith. Replicating Ring will trigger again. It'll be up to 3 night counters. We can get rid of it if we can manage to kill the Sky Diamond by switching it with Goblin Welder once it's in the graveyard. The Replicating Ring, but it's a lot of work just to get rid of that. But they will have so much mana if that goes off, so we really do have to keep an eye on that. So they were going to use Sky Diamond. Treasure Nabber was triggering, so they thought better of it. So it does essentially, I mean, you can still use the mana and the mana rocks go back. So Treasure Nabber isn't all that good as far as like stopping people from playing stuff, but it can put a dent in your plan, you know, if you need that mana later. The Ranar player played Hero of Bredegard. 2 white for 1/1 Human Warrior. I almost said legendary. My mistake. Whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your hand or permanents from the battlefield, you may put 1/1 counter on it. As long as it's 5 or more counters on it, it has flying as an angel addition to its other types. As long as it has 10 or more counters on it, it is indestructible and a god in addition to its other types. Interesting. We have Banishing Light. Alright, that's going to be interesting. This kind of reminds me of like a white-blue version of Belborca. Alright, let's see where the Banishing Light is going. I imagine Treasure Nabber. However, if Banishing Light enters the battlefield... No, it's 1 sentence, it'll work. So let's see where it's going. It's going against the Necropotence. Alright, so they're going to try to lock Yawgmoth out of the game unless they get some other kind of draw. We have some more triggers. They get a Spirit, and Hero of Bredegard will get a 1/1 counter. Alright, we have an attack. Let's see where everything's going. Monk into us, that's unfortunate. Spirit off into the Xantcha player. So is Ranar. Okay. What do we want to do here? We could sacrifice to get a Aligned Hedron Network out of the way. Just get rid of the Geist. Although, they would get a couple of cards because their stuff gets exiled, right? That could be not the best. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Let's go ahead and pick our Icy Manolith and Aligned Hedron Network. It comes into play. Xantcha and the Geist Honored Monk will go bye-bye. They get a number of triggers, though. Unfortunately, we played kind of into their hands there, but I really didn't feel like taking 7. Damage is good against the Xantcha player. They are down to 35, up to 2 commander damage. End of turn, Soul Herder. It does the triggering. Let's see what they'll blink this time. It's the Wall of Omens. A number of more triggers. We really need a board wipe. I did add a few more to the deck other than Aligned Hedron Network, so we'll have to see how this goes. So Hero Brigard is currently an Angel with Flying. Nope, one more counter is needed. Okay, not looking too forward to that. Over to Yawgmoth's turn, a 6th Swamp into play. They have Yawgmoth coming down. Alright, let's see if they can do anything. Preferably getting rid of the Soul Tender, but it is a 5/5 currently. Very good card if you're playing Blink. Whoa, sorry about that. I have it in my Amanatu Blink deck. The thing with Blink is, as much as I love it, it does get kind of old over time, so it's a little bit problematic that way. Land in play, Field of the Dead will trigger on Xantcha's turn. They get another zombie. Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs. I kind of like that red gets that kind of ability, but granted, it is a little bit out of red's color pie, I guess you could say. If you're familiar with the card War Cadence, that's kind of more aligned with where I think red would be, but I'm not a designer. Vow of Lightning. Alright, so it's going on to the Soul Tender, or Soul Herder rather, Soul Tender. My mistake. Okay, at the end of Xantcha's turn, let's go ahead and make another Manalith. Comes our turn, we get Heroic Intervention. That will be pretty. Hopefully we won't need it too soon, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and play a Forest. And then let's go ahead and play Deretti. I think that will be pretty good for us. We'll go ahead and activate his -2. We'll get back a Replicating Ring. We'll sacrifice the Aligned Hedron Network. Gothard Monk will come into play for the Ranar player. They'll make 2 spirits. And then we'll activate the Goblin Welder. Sacrifice, let's see, what do we want to sacrifice? Let's sacrifice the Icy Manalith to get back the Aligned Hedron Network. It will trigger. It'll exile everything with 5 power or greater. And a lot of stuff gets exiled. Number of triggers here. They will get to draw a card, but none of this other stuff will matter because those creatures are no longer on the battlefield. Okay, not too much else to play. Do you want to get Harmonized next turn, assuming Aligned Hedron Network isn't threatened? Let's just go ahead and pass it off. Gates of Istfell. Let's see. Gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. Alright. Alright, so they sacrificed the land. So this is one of those new... I don't know. The other ones were kind of like guild halls. What do we want to call these? What is this cycle? Treasure Nabber triggers. Swiftfoot Boots are coming down for an R player. Alright. Alright, so Treasure Nabber says until the end of your next turn. Okay. So they do get it back eventually. Ranar, are they on the attack? I imagine all the spirits are going to be off into us. That'd be pretty legit. Alright, so they are holding back some spirits. Deretti's going to be taking 2 spirits to the face. That's fine, he can die. And we are taking the rest. Yep. Nothing we can do about flyers. Deretti hits the bin. He did what he had to do, though. Unfortunately, we can't get him back too readily. We take damage, we are down to 30. We're up to 2 commander. Over to Yawgmoth's turn. They still are denied the Necropotence due to Banishing Light. 5 cards in hand after the draw. Let's see what they can do with the turn. Hopefully they'll be able to take it down some spirits, but it's not really in their best interest to do so at the moment because the spirits can kill us, it seems, before they can kill Yawgmoth. Lake of the Dead into play. So they had to sacrifice a swamp for it. They can sacrifice another swamp and tap this to add 4 black to their mana pool. Midnight Banshee. Put 1 count on each non-black creature you control. That will, yeah, that'll kill all the spirits. So Ragnar are going to be put on the back foot unless they have some removal on the next turn, so that's not too bad. Okay, so that's it for Yawgmoth. Going over to Xantcha. So looking at the cards under the Aligned Hedron Network, we could potentially have a number of them killed just by the Midnight Banshee if we trade the Aligned Hedron Network off for something else, assuming we can get something else into the graveyard at all. Could be interesting. Aligned Hedron Network is a great card in my opinion. However, it is eggs in basket. Somebody just has to blow it up and they get all their stuff back. On the bright side, you can always play politics with it that way. We had a Feel the Dead trigger while I was rambling, by the way. Zombie into play for Xantcha. They are re-summoning their commander. Who are they going to give it to? I imagine us. Yep, there she is. Xantcha's Sleeper Agent is going to be activated. The Xantcha player will draw a card. We lose 2 life down to 28. Heartstone. Activated abilities cost 1 less to activate. That is for everyone, so now we can create a Manolith for 2 mana. End of the turn. Let's create a Manolith. Why not? Comes to our turn, our own replicating ring will trigger. Yeehaw. We're going to get 1 counter. We get Soul Ring. Okay, not the best. Not necessarily what I would have wanted, but alright. So we have no real way to get our artifacts or any artifacts into the graveyard right now except for Acidic Slime. Conversely, we could just use it to blow up the Anhedron network in preparation. I would much rather prefer to do that on the upkeep of Yawgmoth, just so Ranar doesn't have time to buff them up or anything. So that's probably not our best option. Let's play Harmonize. We get a Frostwalk Bastion, a Forest, and a Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting will work. Let's play a Frostwalk Bastion. More land is always good. Probably play the Soul Ring, because Treasure Number is just going to die in 2 turns anyway. But first, let's go ahead to our attacks. We do have to attack. Let's attack. What do we want to attack? Ranar? Or, yeah, let's attack Ranar. The commander damage will be good. They're intercepting with the Spirit. Same play as before. Spirit is down, no damage gets through. Ranar still 36, still only 5 commander damage from Xantcha herself. So, not much we can do there. Let's go ahead and play a Soul Ring. And let's play a Faithless Looting. We get a couple of lands, pretty good. Let's discard Scrap Trawler and Darksteel Colossus, which we'll just mostly get back anyway. And then I say we pass the turn. We do have mana up for a Heroic Intervention if we need it. The mana rocks would go away for a little bit, but that's not too bad. Over to Ranar, their replicating ring going up to 6. I don't know how I feel still about the 8 counters for the ring, but considering the payoff, it's probably well balanced. Xantcha's Sleeper Agent is being activated by the Ranar player. We're going to lose 2 more life? That's never the best. We're down to 26. Xantcha's being activated again. We're down to 24. We have Brago King Eternal coming down. Oh, that's not the best. Swiftfoot Boots onto Brago. That also means we're probably getting hit in the face. Okay, we have some attacks. Let's see where it's all going. Okay, so they're splitting it up. Brago into us, like I said. Ranar going off into Yawgmoth. The Spirit's going off into Xantcha. No blocks for us. We have no flyers or anything with reach. Okay, Brago King Eternal will trigger. They're probably going to blink, I would think, the Banishing Light to get rid of the Anhedron network. No, they're going for Wall of Omens. Okay, because I was going to say the last one would have really screwed up our plans. We want to respond on the upkeep to the trigger of the, was it Midnight Banshee? Yeah. Oh, Banishing Light is coming back down. Alright, let's see where it's going to go. Gets rid of the Banshee. That is unfortunate. So, what can we do about that? Over to Yawgmoth's turn. Let's see what they have in response. Too bad the Banshee went away. Could have wiped out Ranar. They also have 7 cards in hand over on Ranar's side, so they're still very much in control of the game. Unfortunately, Xantcha being on our field isn't helping us much anymore. We're almost down to half our life total. Very unfortunate. On the bright side, we do have a lot of lands and our commander is still alive. We can actually activate her second ability coming up. Could whiff, could be good. We have Necroskitter coming down for the Yawgmoth player. Alrighty. So this card, 1 black for 1/4 Wither. So the damage part of Infect, but not the poison part, if you know what that is. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with a -1/1 counter, -1/-1 counter on dies, excuse me, you may return that card to the battlefield under your control. So that actually totally kills our Anhedron network plan and saving the Banshee from the Banishing Light. So Acidic Slime will not be doing that until one or the other is destroyed, preferably the Necroskitter. Well, Ende play on Xantcha's turn, Field of the Dead will trigger. Xantcha's Sleeper Agent will be activated, we'll lose another 2 life. We are down to 20. Xantcha again. We are down to 18. Toxic Deluge for 4. That's unfortunate. So what we could do here is activate our commander to create a Manolith, because Heroic Intervention isn't going to help us here. I also don't particularly care about Scrap Trawler. We could, however, trade the Anhedron network and get rid of potentially a lot of this stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. held down control to keep priority. Alright, they're going to get all their stuff back, plus a bunch of Geist Honored Monk triggers. They'll get 2 more spirits. Yawgmoth is being activated. They sacrifice the human. Let's see where it's going. They're going to the Geist Honored Monk. Okay, nice. Bastion Remembrance will trigger, so we'll lose yet another life. Life lost, we are down to 17. Ranar down to 35. Yawgmoth to 29. And Xantcha to 26. We get an Icy Manolith. Treasure Nabber will take our other Icy Manolith. And then Toxic Deluge will go to Resolve, killing just about everything except Xantcha. Yep, there it goes. We'll put our commander back into the command zone. No recursion at the moment. Scrap Trawler won't get us anything back, which is a little bit unfortunate. On the bright side, Treasure Nabber is gone. Unfortunately, to draw a card, we have to hit ourselves for 2, so that's not the best. We are down to 15 after a Bastion of Remembrance. Xantcha being activated again by the Xantcha player. We're down to 13. Being activated again, we'll go down to 11. Comes our turn, we get Faceless Haven. Okay. Not the best. Let's go ahead and play a Mountain. Let's go to combat. Swing at Ranar's face. Damage is good. They're down to 28, up to 10 commander. Let's go ahead and recast our commander, speaking of. Svella Ice Shaper to the battlefield. And then let's go ahead and cast Acidic Slime. And we'll destroy the replicating ring over on Ranar's side. And pass it off. Mirrored Landscape is getting the crack. I imagine they'll be getting 2 planes on Ranar's side there. Mirrored Landscape gets the crack by Ranar. I imagine it'll be 2 planes. It is. Xantcha is being activated. Unfortunately, I don't think we're long for this world. We are down to 9. Between the Xantcha player using it a bunch because it's their deck, and Ranar, we're kind of the only one doing anything to Ranar, so they have no reason to be merciful on us. I do believe that Xantcha will be our doom. We have Returned to Dust to get rid of the Necropotence and the Bastion of Remembrance out of Ranar. Okay. Over to Yawgmoth's turn. 4 cards in hand after the draw. No way to get extra cards so far. They could maybe drop like a Phyrexian Arena, could do Read the Bones, stuff like that. We have Magus of the Coffers out of Yawgmoth. Okay, so Cabal on a creature. That's unfortunate. Hopefully there's no Exsanguinate close in the future here. We do not have the life total to withstand that. Over to Xantcha. Let's see. They do have enough mana to just straight up kill us, so not the best. Land into play. Field of the Dead. They get a zombie. Sower of Discord. Okay, when there's the battlefield, choose 2 players. Whenever damage is dealt to one of the chosen players, the other chosen player also loses that much life. Let's see who they choose. The chosen players are Xantcha and Yawgmoth. Alright, so at least it's not us. Angrath the Flame Change. I actually really like this Planeswalker. I try to use it everywhere I can, as long as the deck's going to be a bit slow anyway. I think that also means they're going to be stealing our commander. That's really unfortunate. We will have to use Heroic Intervention if they do so. Never mind. Each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. Okay. We'll discard Faceless Haven. I don't think that's going to do anything for us anytime soon. So, in case you're wondering, Angrath, 3 black-red for a legendary Planeswalker Angrath. Comes into play with 4 loyalty. +1 each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. -3 gain control of target creatures on turn. Untap it, it gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step if its converted mana cost was 3 or less. -8, each opponent loses life equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. I very much like this Planeswalker, like I said. Xantcha's being activated, we'll lose 2 more life. We are down to 5. Alright, that's it for Xantcha. We actually get to live 1 more turn. Fantastic. Replicating Ring will trigger, and then we'll go ahead and probably... Oh, Yawgmoth quits the game. Alright, yeah, they're looking pretty hard pressed there to do anything. We get Scarecrow on the draw, though. That's nice. Very interesting. Too bad we don't have haste. For 4 mana, we get to draw a card. It's not the worst we could have at the moment. Let's go ahead and play Firelit Thicket. We could also do Faithless Looting on Flashback, and I think that is something we want to do at the moment. But our commander activation costs 8, so let's go ahead and see what that is. Plenty of mana to do so. So let's go ahead and Flashback our Faithless Looting. Don't know that's going to give us anything nifty. Bosch Iron Golem and Pulveros. Alright, unfortunately I don't think any of that's helpful. So let's discard. Discard Pulveros and the Scarecrow. Let's go ahead and activate our commander, see what we get. Oop, went a little bit over on mana. Alright. Let's see what we have here. Look at the top 4 cards and may cast this spell from among them without paying its mana cost. Oh, that's quite the whiff. I guess we'll catch Nature's Claim. That sucks. Yeah, I don't know. Let's cast Galanra. Maybe we'll get some more card draw off of it at some point, assuming we survive, but I don't think we're surviving. We do have to attack into Ranar. Not much we can do about that. Damage is good. They're down to 21, up to 15 commander. Over to Ranar's turn. 7 cards in hand after the draw. Let's see what they can do with it. Such Land Elementalist. Okay. Whenever it attacks, you may cast an instant sorcery spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. That's not bad. I mean, it's expensive, but not terribly bad. Swiftfoot Boots is being activated. Nice. So let's see. Just double checking. It says sorcery, so timing restrictions on that does not apply. Possibly a board wipe, but I don't think that'd be very good necessarily. But an 8/8 for 7 that can cast stuff for free, that's not terrible. They are in fact on the attack. It will trigger. Let's see if they're going to cast anything. Storm Herd. They get X 1/1 white Pegasus creature tokens with flying, where X is their life total. Oh, if if Xantcha has a Rakdos Charm, that's going to backspire spectacularly. Oh man. Also, we'd be quite dead anyway. Bam, there they are. So let's see, where's this going? Off into Angrath. That's fine with me. We have a zombie on the block. It unfortunately does not have trample, even though it's a giant. At least blue didn't get that this set. Thank you kindly. Zombie down. No damage gets through to Angrath or Xantcha. Xantcha is safe. Okay, Xantcha's turn. They could win the game right here. Rakdos Charm and a few activations on Xantcha, and the game is over. Field of the Dead triggers another zombie for Xantcha. We have no mercy. Whenever a creature deals damage to you, destroy it. Lots of mana being tapped on Xantcha's side. What is it going to be? Exsanguinate. Torment of Hellfire. The Kai would be overkill at this point, but hey. Alright, they're activating Angrath. We'll lose 2 life and have to discard a card. Let's discard the Forest. Ranar discards an island. Okay. Xantcha's being activated. We'll lose 2 more life, putting us down to 1. Okay. Yep, and they're activating her again. That's unfortunate. We will die to Xantcha. Oh, Xantcha gets activated a 3rd time. I was just saying good game to our opponent. I don't think they'll get to draw that other one because it gets exiled based on rules. But let's see what happens. Nope, I guess they do. Let's go ahead and keep watching. See if Xantcha can pull out the win with a possible Rakdos Charm, or conversely, if Ranar can remove the No Mercy. Ooh, Crawl Space. Yep, that's gonna hurt. Okay, so Ranar can only attack with 1 creature. Again, if they attack with the giant and cast something akin to Return to Dust. Over to Ranar's turn. Let's see what's going to happen. Ranar's not out of the game yet. 3 cards in hand, 19 life, 15 commander. Xantcha would have to be resummoned for 7 mana this time. And resummoning her just isn't going to be very good. In the graveyard, they have 12 cards on Ranar's side, so if Angrath does ultimate, it won't take too much more to kill Ranar. Ranar the Ever Watchful to the battlefield. They gain a spirit. I'm not entirely sure what they exiled, however. Let's go ahead and check that out. They have Foretold a card. Wonder if it's Doomscar. Is that the removal name? We have Flicker Wisp. They are flickering the Banishing Light. Nice. Let's see what they'll target with it. Ranar makes another spirit token. So Banishing Light will come back at end of turn. I imagine it'll be Crawl Space. And if they can, No Mercy if they get more removal. But I'm not certain. Ranar's got maybe 3 turns in this before they just die. Yep, they're going after the Crawl Space. Over to Xantcha. 6 cards in hand after the draw. Ranar down to 1 card in hand. Xantcha's been in control of this game for a while. Field of the Dead. Making more zombie babies. Angrath being +2 again. Their opponent will discard a card and lose 2 life. Let's see what they discarded with 1 card in hand. It was just an island, okay. So no answers there. Ragnar does have enough flyers to kill the opponent, so. Marchesa's Decree. Oh, that's just backbreaking. Even with No Mercy, they could have hit them and killed them, but Marchesa's Decree will bleed them before their creatures ever make contact. That is, yeah. Xantcha is just prepared this game. Xantcha coming back down for that player. It'll go under, yep, their control. They can't attack anyone with Xantcha, but The Xantcha player can activate it to start draining their life total. Heartstone is still on the battlefield, so the ability will only cost the 2. And they do in fact activate it. Ranar down to 15. They still have a Foretold card in exile. That's the only thing that could save Ranar at this point. I mean, unless they get a lucky top deck. Xantcha is the Monarch from Marchesa's Decree. End of turn, they'll draw a card. Xantcha's Sleeper Agent is being activated for Ranar themselves. They take 2 to draw a card. Xantcha's Sleeper Agent being activated again. It is currently Ranar's turn. They do it. They're doing it again. At this point, there's really nothing to lose. They need to get rid of that Marchesa's Decree to swing over in the air. They could take Xantcha out, but they need that enchantment removal. So they still have a Foretold card. Even if they spend all their mana drawing cards and somehow don't die, they can still summon the enchantment removal, if you will, cast it by attacking with the giant. It's super tense right now for me. I'm quite enjoying this, like, very tense moment between our competitors. Tranquil Cove into play. They will gain 1 life. Alright. Azorius Signet coming down for Ranar. Okay. Cosmic Intervention. Hold on, I don't even know what this did. This is a card I'm getting in paper, though. It's only coming out in the pre-con for this commander, though. Cleansing Nova. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Nice. Very nice. This game could go to Ranar. Let's review Cosmic Intervention real quick, though. 3 white for an instant. If a permanent you control will be put into graveyard from the battlefield this turn, exile it instead. Return to the battlefield under total control at the beginning of the next end step. Foretell, rather. Was that their Foretell card? It was. Nice. Okay, so Ranar going on the attack. They need to attack with all of their flyers. Oh, they got crawl space back. That's why. Oh, no. Okay, Zombie intercepts the giant. Dang. I totally forgot crawl space was under the Banishing Light. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so they could get rid of the Xantcha. I am hoping that's what they're doing. So they'd have to resummon Xantcha and wouldn't have enough mana to necessarily activate it to kill them. Let's see what's happening. Oh, it's going after crawl space. Okay, so that won't... Unfortunately, Xantcha still being out is going to kill them. I'm fairly certain. Xantcha player could just straight up go for it, plus an Angrath activation, and Ranar is out. They could have bought 1 more turn with the Banishing Light on the Xantcha, though. Alright, over to Xantcha. Let's see if they just finish it up. Alright, yeah, Xantcha wins the game. Ranar gives it up, I suppose. Let's go ahead and give it to Xantcha. They played a really, really nice deck. I haven't seen Xantcha do that well in a long time. Alright, but good game to our opponents. Ranar almost had... Forgot about that crawl space. That really stinks. But, yeah, nice tense moment there. I quite enjoyed the entertainment. Alright, there it is. 1 point to the Ranar player, 4 to the Xantcha player. Nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Okay, here's the deck. That whiff on our commander activation, the second ability to look at the top 4 and cast for free, that hurt. That hurt a lot. A good portion of our deck is at least 5 CMC or greater. And we hit, what, a 3-drop? That's a mana dork? That hurt a lot. So changes to the deck, since I'm complaining about that at the moment, are I increased the high-end count. We have Ugin for some more removal. We have Blasphemous Act for another removal spell, a mass destruction spell. I had Sandstone Oracle for a little bit more draw. Greenwarden and Marasa for more recursion. Endbringer for some combat tricks, some extra card draw, and pinging things. Add Incendiary Command for some extra removal. Destroy target non-basic land. And potentially, if we need to, wheel ourselves a little bit. Even though it's not a full wheel, it's only equal to the cards in our hand. But it still serves our purposes. Terror of the Peaks to get some ETB burn damage going. And as we saw in this game, Align Hedron Network for even more removal. So Align Hedron Network actually did a lot of work for us. It worked out quite well. We just couldn't do anything about the Xantcha on our side of the board. We can't make her an artifact and sacrifice her without something like Liquid Metal Coating. I don't want to add that to the deck specifically yet, although I do really like the card. I am still considering it. Also, we ran to more of the Cathartic Reunion, Thrill of Possibility type of cards. Added another one of those because I didn't feel like we had enough real card draw going on. Those were the major changes to the deck. As I mentioned earlier, I also added some mana rocks like the Gruul Signet, Arcane Signet, and the Expedition map, which isn't a mana rock, but it does get us any land we need. Because the deck only has 34 actual lands, and then 2 of the like spell lands, I guess you can say, are the module dual face lands. it does need a little bit extra mana, and because they're mana rocks, we can sacrifice them along with the manaliths our commander can make and provide for us. And it did work out. The deck was going, we just didn't draw anything large except for the Darksteel Colossus, which now I have to think, since we can't put it in the graveyard, totally forgot about that clause. It needs to be replaced with something large and in charge, but not it. That also leaves Blightsteel Colossus out of the running, even though I wouldn't have run Blightsteel anyway, because Surprise Infect is nobody's friend. Anyway, that's it for that review. If you saw any cards that you liked in this video that you want to purchase for yourself in physical paper form, sealed product for Kaldheim, which is being released on Friday if you didn't attend a pre-release, or sleeves to protect all that glorious stuff, please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It helps out the channel and doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, so for the next game, changes to the deck, probably going to add a little bit more high-end stuff, especially get rid of Darksteel Colossus, maybe stuff we can pitch more readily to the graveyard, or it has an alternate cost. I'll have to look into that. Also, maybe some untap effect. 1,000-year elixir is a bit expensive these days, but I can look into other things. I didn't initially want to do that because they don't serve too much other purpose, just making mana rocks. But if we can get to our second ability more readily, maybe we can just get some stuff out of our deck off the top 4. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, until the next video, I'll see you around. Stay safe.